All right, I want to do a little review here of a book I recently read. First of three Stalin biographies by Stephen Kotkin. He's a really interesting guy. I've listened to a lot of his speaks on YouTube or whatever, a lot of his lectures. Really smart about not just Russia, but Eurasia, the Middle East. Really interesting guy on geopolitics. So, geez, I'm exhausted. I'm going to help myself get woken up by also trying out some of this Ukrainian vodka. So, even though it's 11 a.m. on a Sunday, we'll just have one. So what did I think about the book? Honestly, I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I'm probably a little bit biased because I'm very interested in Russian, Soviet culture, etc. It was a little bit different than what I expected. So I expected the book to just be entirely about Stalin, and a lot of it was, especially in the beginning. It talked about him growing up in Georgia, which I really enjoyed. Just kind of learning a little bit more about Georgia at that time period. Got some pickles here, Also, I have this USSR shot glass that I got in St. Petersburg, which I think would be quite fitting. Anyway, so the book wasn't as focused on the person of Stalin as much as I thought, which I turned out to like more, because I mean, this book is dense. I think it's 740 pages, and then the book is 740 pages, and then the bibliography goes on until, like, all the notes, all the credits, everything, all that goes on until page 912, so nearly 200 pages. Insane. But you can imagine that 740 pages of just talking about Stalin. I'm sure it could be done, but yeah, I don't know if it's what I would have enjoyed as much. So this book ended up talking about just, where the world was at that time. It goes into Germany a lot, like what they're doing, Japan, Great Britain, England. Really good educational information here, and it's the way it's written is very interesting too. I found myself laughing at sometimes. I thought I was pretty well versed on Soviet history and all that, but I learned a lot in this book. I've read a handful of other books about Soviet history, about the revolution and all that, and this by far taught me the most. I'm gonna reread it at some time later in my life. Obviously I have to read the second one, which I'm not rushing to get at right away. I mean, I think I'm gonna take the shot that is this book, and then my pickle after will be some light fiction reading for a while or whatever. I mean, and then I don't think the third volume is published yet. But yeah, I have the second one. I'm looking forward. I imagine that the second might not be as interesting to me, because the better part of this book for me was kind of like the first and second thirds of it, and then the third was a little bit, I will say, dry. They're kind of going to meetings, and there's these controversies happening, and Stalin is slowly accumulating more and more power. Let me take a shot here. Na zdrowie. Or is it za zdrowie? I actually don't know. I think na zdrowie would be on health. Toast on health. And za zdrowie would be to health? I really don't know. Somebody tell me. How do you actually toast in Russian? I know toasting is a big deal, so. Anyway. Not bad vodka, honestly. I can understand and read Russian a little bit. Ukrainian is a little different, though. If anybody's Ukrainian that sees this, tell me what this means. It looks like chlebny dar. My guess is that means bread given or something, from bread. I'm not quite sure. Dar, I think, is like to give. And then chleb is bread. Obviously, vodka is made from, what, grains of some sort, depending on what kind it is. Nah, not bad vodka. Give me a little kick. All right. To conclude, this book is just awesome. If you have any interest in history, history, Russia, Soviet Union, communism, monarchism even. It talks a lot about the white movement. There's so many crazy characters that I've never heard of before. There's this one German guy who tried to take over Mongolia and reinstate the king there, or I don't think it was actually called the king, but awful atrocities that happen, of course. Stephen Kotkin, Stalin, paradoxes of power, I guess. So it goes up to 1928, the second version that I have, the second edition. You know what I mean? The book that comes after this is 1928 to 1941, and I think it's titled Waiting for Hitler. So that third volume is going to be intense. It's going to be all about World War II, probably until the death of Stalin, which I've heard is a good movie. The Death of Stalin. I've heard it's funny. Turn down the music a little bit. I can't really say enough good things about this book, other than it got a little bit dry towards the end, and I probably wasn't retaining as much. What I probably should have done was just gone and read some short stories and came back to the end when I was fresher. I kind of just slogged through the very end of it. But, it was flying before then. I was probably reading like 50 pages a day, really enjoying it, getting a lot out of it. Talked about Lenin a lot, and I could go on and on, but wealth of knowledge here. So would recommend. All right. До свидания, друзья. Have a good day.